everybody, it's Christine. It is day 4 of 30 Days of Sketches with Christy's Beautiful Life. And today's sketch, as a reminder, I don't know if I've said this, to be honest with you, but all the sketches this month are exclusive and sent in by people that play along. So, this is a new sketch, right? It's by Galaxy Girl Creations, Janet Fritz. She does have a channel on YouTube, so obviously try and check her out. So what she's got here is 3 pictures, and then there's like this triangle-y piece with another piece behind, and then there's kind of these 2 slivers of the same patterns over here. A couple of 3 visual triangle of circle and stars, and some little words. Now she doesn't actually say where to put the title, but I guess you could theoretically put it right there. So we'll see. What I have to work with is I had these pictures, and I'll explain the pictures a little bit, but you can kind of see they're a little bit like, well, the food here is kind of country looking, right? Because you got this little plaid country table there, and it's this old-timey looking little, not old-timey, it's more like I don't know, it looked kind of like a trailer or something, but it's real cute, called Nashville Jam Co. Again, I'll talk about that in a minute. But what I have left of this kit is I do have a piece of white cardstock, and then I have this, it's a Cartabella, is it Cartabella? Yes, Cartabella's homemade. It was a Scrap Room Flavors of the Month. And I have this 1 sheet of paper, which I like the red a lot, and then I have a sticker sheet, so I'm hopeful I can make all that work. And then what I went ahead and did is I did pull out of my own stash here this yellow piece. Is from Adorn It, and it's from, I thought I saw the date on here. It's a while back, y'all. Well, that kind of aggravates me. I thought the date was on here. It's a while back. I don't know if I can use the floral as well, because if I use this floral, that's not going, I don't know about that. But I know for sure I can use this yellow, so if I need another sheet of paper, I got it. So I may have to map the photos or something on it. But that's what I've got to work with. I went ahead and also pulled out of my stash. I have this little, it was like a card kit from convention or something. And there's some Jubilee, like, little cards and things. So if I need something to cut the circles out of, I don't know. I was just looking at it and I thought, well, I might can use something. Who knows? This may not get pulled out at all. We shall see. All right, let me get to cutting a little bit here. I need to get this kind of base cut out so I can understand what I have left of the way of my papers and what I might can cut circles and stuff from. So give me just a second and I'll come back on. Y'all, this layout didn't take me long at all. The first thing I did is I took this piece of paper and I kind of just guesstimated, you know, looking at the sketch where the corners would be. And I kind of guessed about maybe 3/4 of an inch down. I think it was an inch down from the top. And then I think it was like 2 inches from the right corner there. And I started trying to use my paper cutter, and I realized, Christine, you cannot cut these papers diagonally on a paper cutter. At least not your standard paper cutter. So I just used my little straight edge there, and I drew a line, and then I just cut it with my scissors. And my plan is to come in here, and I don't think I'll show you this, but I'll scuff the edge of that just a little bit in case it's not perfectly straight, and that's okay. So I lay that down, and then I think, okay, I'm going to flip this over, and I'm going to figure out where this top corner needs to go. And honestly, guys, I don't know if she meant this or if this was intentional, but I was able to create all my little paper elements here with a single sheet of pattern paper. Again, I'm just kind of guesstimating based on the sketch where things are. I think I made this six inches. I can't see. Y'all might can see. I can't remember now if it's 6 or 7 inches. But I just took my pencil and marked that, and then we'll come down here. And then I'm going to able to make those slivers out of this paper very easily. So yeah, I was able to get this whole thing done with essentially 1 piece. Well, okay, now I'm lying to you because I did have to mount the photos on a different piece of paper. That being said, you don't have to mount your photos, right? So if you want to do this sketch, you can get away with using a piece of blank cardstock, you know, white or colored or whatever, and then a piece of single paper here, double-sided paper. So that is what I end up doing here. So I left this in just so you guys could see kind of how I did this. And it works out pretty nicely. You know, it goes in here, and that little corner right there, I was kind of pleased because when you flipped it over and everything, it worked out well because that was actually, I think, the bottom right corner initially, and then when you cut it, it works out well. Here's where I'm just going to cut the side pieces here. I cut basically, I think it's a 1/2 inch, might be a 3/4 of an inch of the red, which is that on her paper, her sketch there is kind of got the funny little random lines on it. I do that, and then honestly, when I look at the piece of paper, I have a little funny sliver left over. I have to trim that down just a hair because it's a little too long. But I'm going to put that there. And then you can kind of see on my paper over here, in a second I'll flip it up and look at it. There's a little piece of the side over there that's, well, you can't see it. I saw off camera. Sorry, guys. But it's a little sliver that's just kind of perfectly the little triangle that she kind of has on her sketch. And I go, well, heck, all that just worked out real nice. So again, I'm going to just scuff the edges of these and glue them down. And I'm done with that paper base, y'all. That's it. I am going to size my photos here. So as I don't know if I mentioned this or not, but I have 2 verticals and then I have a horizontal. And I go, well, I need to organize it a little bit differently than the sketch, but I'm perfectly fine with that. I want to kind of show our food. And it has, you know, my daughter and then us at the bottom there. So I did mount the photos on that yellow paper I showed you from the Adorn It collection, just because, well, I didn't have anything enough left of the other one. I will put foam behind the middle picture here because I go, well, I want that to kind of pop up. And it kind of makes some sense anyway because it is a little bit of a different shape. And so that's going to go there. And then what I'm going to do is get into my sticker sheet, and I'm going to take and put a bigger title, I guess. So on the sketch, again, she just kind of had a couple of, well, she had the bigger elements, the triangles, circles with the stars. And I'll end up with embellishment clusters in those same places, but I don't do exactly the same. I did try to go with the circle element. I'm just double checking myself on my locations here. There was a little round circle that said love. It's like a little house with some, you know, design on it. And that goes in the lower left over there. I thought that looked good down there. And then there's this little circle element here that says family is forever. And then I try this piece here. I even trim it out thinking, oh, I'll use the circle element down here in the lower right. I even like trim it. And I'm thinking, okay, yeah, this will work good. It doesn't work, y'all. It's too big. If I try to stick it up better, it just doesn't do right, even after I trim it. And plus, it was kind of white on white, and I thought, well, I don't know if I really want that. So I end up going back over to the sticker sheet and finding a little bit smaller circle element, which had a little strawberry on it. And I'm okay with that. I actually kind of really embraced the strawberries on this layout because there was jam. So let me tell you a little bit about the pictures now that I'm kind of doing this layout. You can see what I'm doing with the stickers here. So this was a little restaurant. When we go on trips, my daughter is kind of the designated food finder because she has a talent. She uses Yelp real well. She uses TikTok. You know, I don't know how she finds the places she finds, but she had found this one, and it was called the Nashville Jam Co. And they're kind of famous for their homemade jams. And so we go to this place, and it's really cute. It's in like a, again, I kind of want to allude it to like a trailer, but it was nicer than that. I mean, it was bigger than that too. It was like a little building up on, I guess it had a raised, what's that called? It's raised floor, like it's not right on the ground. It's kind of raised up. See that you can see the little ramp thing where kind of walked up. But it was neat. You walk in, it was almost like a little house in the sense like there was different little rooms, and, you know, the bathroom was kind of old-fashioned. It was just kind of this little old space. But you go in there, and they actually had a little retail section for their jams. And I did buy my daddy a peach habanero jam, and a little bit of a story behind that. If you've watched my channel at all, you know my dad's had gotten the virus back in December 2021, and he had been, this was actually that year. This was the Christmas that he got it. So we were out of town, and I didn't know he was going to be sick, obviously. So I picked him up this jam, and by the time we got home, he was in the hospital. And I mean, it was just, you know, I didn't get to see him. I didn't get to give it to him. Well, he wasn't able to eat it anyways. It wasn't happening. But I held on to that jam for a year, y'all. And I gave it to him a few weeks ago after he got into rehab as kind of we had a little celebratory thing because he was finally able to eat this jam, and he just loved it. So yeah, so they had this homemade jam. I had bought him some, and then we had it with our breakfast. You can kind of see it in the middle picture. It's going to be little on the screen here, but there's these teeny little cups of these various different flavors. They bring you all these little flavors, and then these biscuits, y'all. Ooh, they were good biscuits. They were just big, fluffy, nice biscuits, and you eat your jam on it. And then I had gotten this hot chicken, what did it call? Hot chicken something. It was kind of famous Nashville chicken dish. And, of course, my husband and my daughter always get something real healthy, so I think they had egg white omelets or something. But at the time, I tried something a little bit different. I don't mind, if you're on vacation, I think you kind of need to try what you're going to have. I mean, Brooke tries things too. She does eat things that are local, but she also tries to avoid certain foods. Dairy and stuff makes her sick, so she has to avoid certain things. But I'm like, heck yeah, I'm going to try that hot chicken, something, whatever. So we had that, and yeah, so that was a really good breakfast, I'm not going to lie. So you can kind of see I've gone through and I've added all these sticker elements, y'all. I did end up making the title homemade, but then it kind of has homemade today for you, family time. I guess I just added those little bit of words there. On basically the little pieces, I've taken little strawberries, there's little spoons, I've taken some little bowls and some little cups because it was very like homey. And I think this is adorable, y'all. I think this turned out so cute. And I think this layout only took me 30 minutes. I was really pleased with this one. I put this together real fast. So thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to check out tomorrow because it's all month long, y'all. And my goal is to have something every single day. So don't forget to subscribe if you're not. And we will talk to you later. Bye.